Hello everyone, this is SPONGEZILLA again from SlinginNation.com. Um, Forrest Lane asked me a while back if I would do a checkered flag tutorial. He was trying to figure it out and kind of frustrated with it. I'm going to do one that's kind of quick and dirty. I don't really want to make it too complicated because once you get the process down of what I'm doing, um, you can pretty much alter it to suit your needs. I mean, right now, as you can see, this is pretty generic looking. It's straight edges, curves are pretty kind of boring and bland, but I just wanted to throw something together that was pretty quick and easy to do, and wasn't going to take a lot of time. So what you're going to need, and if you look at my layer palette, I've already kind of started part of this just to make this video take a lot quicker. But ideally, to make the flag, you're going to need basically 4 components. And the first one you're going to do is, if you look here, I'm going to select the shape. This waved flag shape, I created that with the path tool. So basically I just kind of drew it out like you would normally draw anything with the pen tool. And once I've made the shape, I have it, and I'll show you, there's actually 2 layers, they're duplicate layers. But what I did was the one layer, this is transparent. If I shut this back layer off, the white layer that was there is the exact same shape as this layer, but it's just a solid white shape. Like if I shut the outline layer off, see, it's just a solid white field. Now, this layer is the same exact shape, but it is transparent and it has a stroke of 2 pixels. You can alter the pixel count to whatever you want. I just wanted a fairly thick outline so that you guys can see it. You don't want to go too crazy with that, but it'll affect the spacing a little bit in your flag if you go really thick, or if you go really thin, your checks will be a little bit bigger, I guess is the best way to put it. The other components you're going to need, and this can vary, like the way I have it done right now, I'm using the same shape, same shape over and over again when I'm doing this. If you want to have more, of a flag that's got more of a waviness to it, these shapes here can be altered and tweaked a little bit. And I didn't exactly make this thing perfect. I'm just doing it for a tutorial, and it's not something I'm probably going to ever save. But I just wanted to throw something together for you guys to be able to see. So the other components you're going to need is you're going to need basically an open-ended path that echoes this or this shape here throughout the course of your flag. And then you're also going to need another part that echoes the edges on either side of your flag. And the reason why you're going to want those is I've got this part here. What I've done is I've duplicated that part over and over and over. So as you see, as I start turning these layers back on, now we have a whole bunch of these stripes here. What you're going to do is, these are all open-ended paths. Like if I were to drag one or copy one and drag it off, I'll pull it off to the side. As you can see, just like I did the outline of this shape, it's strictly an outline. But in this case, because the path only goes this far and then ends, it just, when you do a stroke on it, it goes from here all the way to the end. This is a technique that you can use for pinstriping and other stripe details, and even like, if you get into where you're doing detailing work like I do with templates, you can use this for doing your body seam lines and stuff like that. It's just drawing a series of open-ended paths, expanding them, and then using Pathfinder to unite them, which will create all your nice body seams and stuff like that. Anyhow, I don't need that layer, so I'm going to get rid of it. What I'm going to do now is take this one, and I haven't actually made this part yet, so we're going to see how this works, and hopefully these will come out pretty decent. So I'm going to drag that shape in, and you may have to adjust these. That's one of the things I'm going to, because like look at right now, see how the shapes are off the ends. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shape, just for starters, and just kind of bring it over to where it's closer. Ideally, I probably would make them go over and then just use the Pathfinder tool. There's some of the shapes you can actually take all these, unite them all together, and then use your outer path to crop it down so that everything lines up perfect. But I'm just going to kind of hash these out pretty quickly. So I'm going to copy, paste in back, drag it over. I may have to adjust these two because the spacing from one end of the flag to the other is not exact. Basically, we're kind of creating a grid. Once we get our grid along far enough, is when the magic will happen. So we'll put that one there. It's about close enough. May not be exactly neat. I'm just kind of rushing through this because I don't want the video to take 3 hours. Because Lord knows I wouldn't watch it, and I'm sure you won't either. Of course, you never know. Ron will probably sit and watch it the entire time. I know Adam won't. Adam's probably going to tell me I'm doing this wrong. But anyhow, and of course, if anybody has a better suggestion, I'd love to know too, because I mean, we all want to learn. So we're just continuing to drag these shapes in. And align them a little bit. Bring it over a little. And I mean, there's also other methods too that with all this that you can make it so that you count the number of squares and you can make it alternate perfect, and so that it always ends with a black in this corner and a black in that corner. We may get there luckily, we may end up not, but like I said, this was just kind of a quick and dirty. I'm gonna fix that one a little bit too. All right. So I'm going to copy that shape again, paste it back again. That may be, well, it's not quite going to be our last one. I'm going to have to tweak it a little bit. I think I'm going to have to tweak all of them. But let's see. We'll grab that one, move it a little bit. Alright, I kind of fudged that too, if you kind of caught it. Some people notice it, it's not quite lined up perfect. This shape and this shape are not exactly the same. Ideally, you would make that one and that one the same, or if you have them where they've got a wave or a curvature to it, it'd be more random on both ends. But it's still largely the same process. It's just that instead of having perfectly square, squares to your checker, or perfectly square checkers to your flag, they'll have some waves and curvatures to it. And you can go and do that and add some randomness, But I'm just doing this just to show you the process of how to make all this come to life. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all the lines that we just crossed, and I'm going to leave these locked for now, because we really don't have to worry about them just yet. What we're going to do is we're going to expand all of them. And by expanding them all, now they are all outlined shapes. Then I'm going to use Pathfinder to unite them. So now we have this nice grid shape. Then I will unlock my black path shape, and I will expand it. Then I will take these two shapes here, and I will use Pathfinder to unite them. So now we have this entire grid. Now's when the fun begins. The white shape in the background is still there. I'm going to go to the pen tool, take out the subtraction path, and just start deleting points. And as we do that, as you can obviously tell, I'm making checkers. And I'm alternating them back and forth so that when I'm done, it should look like a checkered flag. So we go to the next shape. Delete, 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 delete. Back to that one. And so on and so forth. Hopefully it won't take you very long for me to finish this part, just so that you guys can see how it's going to look in the end. Alright, so you go back up to this one. And that one. But as you can see, it's not a very complicated process at all. Just alternating back and forth and deleting these points out so that you get a black fill in each one of them. Of course, the one thing I'm worried about when I do this is anyone knows me and knows Adam. We genuinely hate checkered flags on a race car. They're great for logos. They're polarizing as a design element on a race car. And generally speaking, while checkered flags in racing are synonymous, it tends to make for a very gaudy looking race car that just doesn't really look very elegant, you know? I mean, I like a very clean race car. Or, you know, I mean, I even like some of the cars that are kind of busy, but for the most part, I mean, most people know me, you know that I'm very passionate about sign painting, and even some of the old school, like John Flinner, you know, Sean Anderson will talk about him a lot too, is one of like his idols. You know, I'm kind of a Bill Jive Jarvis and Ed Bohonik, or I mean Bob Bohonik, I should say. I'm saying his name wrong. But passionate about those, and a lot of them guys would incorporate checkered flags and stuff into race cars and stuff. But for me, it's great for logo design. Good for doing like logo backdrops and stuff. Good for chassis building logos. I don't really care for them incorporated into a race car design, so I'm kind of fearful of doing this tutorial, then all of a sudden seeing 1,001 guys making checkered flag race cars. Not that, you know, I mean, it's your boat, you know, you can do what you want with it, but so we're getting closer. So how's the weather, guys? Oop, undo. Made an error. Fixed it quick. Oop, did it again. And there we go. The right one that time. And it looks like we're going to end up with a white corner down there, which isn't too bad. Means we'll have a black one in the upper top. That, my friends, is a checkered flag. Didn't take very long. Like I said, I was trying to make it not a 3-hour tutorial, so I kind of sped a few things along. So you can unlock that, take all our paths together, object, we'll group them. So, and then you can name it checkered flag. We can name the group checkered flag. And then one of my big pet peeves, I'll teach you guys it real quick. Your artboard. I hate it when you get an artboard that looks like this. What I do, always, is make my artboard fit closer to the shape. And that way, if I want to do, like save it as a GIF or something, or a JPEG, ping, usually we use ping, I would just save out, and it will actually save whatever is on your artboard exactly as a ping. Otherwise, if you get it cropped down, you're only going to get part of it in your ping. Anyhow, that's just a little extra tidbit on the tutorial. But anyhow, this is SpongeZilla signing off. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and good luck making your checkered flags. Thank you.